The most popular Republican in the United States Congress was just knifed by a secret ballot in a private meeting in the basement of the Capitol. It's as swampy as swamp gets, and Jim Jordan deserved better than that.
Yes, the swamp did it with a knife in the basement. I love this edition of Clue. That was Representative Matt Gaetz speaking about the drama over Jim Jordan's nomination and the votes trying to get him into the speakership position. Mind you, we've been 20 days without a speaker in Congress. Jim Jordan has, however, officially, and I don't know by the time you're watching this, because this is probably the 3rd or 5th segment or 10th, 12th segment we've done on this. He's officially dropped his bid to be speaker. He lost his 3rd vote on Friday, and his secret ballot, excuse me, as well as an official vote. Jordan asked for the secret ballot to determine if he should remain their speaker designate. Just 86 Republicans, less than 40% of the caucus, voted to stick with him. That was a dismal showing for Jordan and quite a bit fewer than the 99 votes he initially received on a secret ballot almost 10 days earlier, when he narrowly lost the first nominating contest to House Majority Leader Steve Scalise. And honestly, Jim Jordan's done a lot of terrible things, but maybe conceding defeat is probably one of the best things he's done, and he did just that. Take a look.
I appreciated getting to work with everyone, talk with everyone. I got to know members in our conference that I didn't really know that well over the last 3 weeks, and that we need to come together and figure out who our speaker is going to be. I'm going to work as hard as I can to help that individual.
I didn't even know some of these people existed, and then I talked to them, and turns out they didn't like me either. So anyway, onward and upwards. So what's next, guys? So the next thing is that there's a candidate forum. I think it's like a science fair, but for GOP candidates. You'd go around and you see like their little dioramas and everything they've created, and you're like, I like that. It's like A for effort, blue ribbon, green ribbon, etc. No, apparently there's gonna be a vote today. Again, the Speaker Pro Temp, Patrick McHenry, has said the intention is to move to a floor vote on Tuesday. Here are the candidates. I haven't heard of him either, but Byron Donalds is maybe we should know of because he was closest in terms of second in line, giving Kevin McCarthy a run for his money back during that vote. Tom Emmer is the number 3 Republican leadership, and he announced his bid on Saturday. Tom Emmer tweeted this. He said, the American people elected us to deliver on a conservative agenda that secures our border, stops reckless spending, and holds Joe Biden accountable. We cannot afford to fail them. Too late. I'm running for Speaker of House to bring our conference together and get back to work. And in fact, he got Kevin McCarthy's endorsement as if that mattered at all. He also was one of the few senior GOP members, however, to accept that the 2020 election was not stolen. And he accepted the electoral votes. So I guess good on you, Emmer. Roger Stone hates him, so I think that's a good sign. Roger Stone tweeted, if Republicans are gonna select Representative Tom Emmer as speaker, why not just reinstall Nancy Pelosi? They are the same. I mean, I feel like low key, most Republicans are like, can we get Pelosi back? She was so easy to hate, but she got things done. Like a bad mom, A little bit more, David A. Clark Jr. Is also running. He's not running, excuse me, but he tweeted this. He said he just endorsed Jordan as speaker. I don't want a Republican as speaker. It's a solid liberal state. I don't want a Minnesota Republican as speaker, speaking of Emmer. It's a solid liberal state. Make history GOP and select Byron Donalds of Florida. Force Democrats to oppose the first Black speaker. Dare Republicans to oppose him. Who's David A. Clark again? That idiot sheriff. Yeah. So again, going back and forth, whatnot. Finally, Senator, before I kick it to you, Byron, like I mentioned, who initially gave Kevin McCarthy kind of a run for his speakership, he's also running. He tweeted, I'm running to become the next Speaker of the House. We need to secure our border, fund our government, let's get to work. He is also a member of the House Freedom Caucus. I guess he's got Jeffrey Clark's endorsement. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, and I don't know who they're all going to coalesce around. It seems just kind of like a bunch of nobodies, and maybe that's the thing. Senator, as recently as Friday, or God, mid last week, maybe it was Thursday, the GOP was like, maybe we'll just go with Patrick McHenry, like just the speaker pro tempore,
They are rudderless.
Yeah.
Popcorn aside, just seriously, who wants to lead this clown car? Seriously, because that's all they would be doing. And they would be in just as much danger, they being whoever gets this poison gavel, because that's what this is turning into at this point. They're gonna be in just as much danger as McCarthy was. I mean, all the Freedom Caucus or 5 members of it or 2, it takes just 1 vote. I mean, all they're gonna do is just be on the edge for the whole time that they are the so-called speaker. It makes it impossible for them to have any real leadership in that caucus. And I use real very, very lightly. Now, the point that one of the Congress members made about, is it Donaldson?
Byron Donalds, yeah.
Hey, Donalds, tactically, I don't know, Francesca. I think they own to something. I mean, that makes a whole lot of sense tactically. Now, I'm not with Donalds at all, but from a tactical, just purely politics, hey, yeah, force the Republicans not to support Donalds. And they're right, force the Democrats. To there it is. Yeah. I mean, hey, if they want to roll, if they were asking me, not that I'm trying to help them out. However, that congressman who made that point, that is a legitimate tactical point. That's all I'm saying.
That's Sheriff Clark. We all know Sheriff Clark is sort of just like a right wing,
yes.
Sort of whatever.
Yeah, anti-immigrant.
Yeah, like an influencer at this point. But it is a good point. It is a good point to be like, hey, maybe we can get, Democrats who play all kinds of, bad faith identity politics to elect. But they're not gonna elect him over Hakeem Jeffries.
But I mean, you know what? Because some of those Democrats use identity in bad faith. Like there's a way to use identity if it is to make substantive change and to uplift and for liberation. Far too many Democrats use it in bad faith. And this would be the GOP turning tables on them in that regard. It would be interesting. I might need 2 tubs of popcorn for this one to see how the Democrats handle it. All of that aside, the Republicans are showing very clearly that they are in no position to lead the House of Representatives. They can't lead their own caucus, so they can't lead the House. They cannot lead this country, and it is indicative. It's just very telling. They are in total disarray, Francesca.
Yeah, and I couldn't be happier actually in this moment, just because Joe Biden is asking for even more money for weapons to Israel, as well as sending more money to the US-Mexico border, Ukraine. Perhaps I'm personally more on board with that, but like, if there was ever a time to have a dysfunctional Congress that can't vote for more money for war, hell, I'll take it, man. That being said, according to all the polling and independent voters, everyone's sick of this. 67% of Americans say the House needs to elect a speaker as soon as possible. As the decision looms on wartime aid for Israel and Ukraine, legislation to prevent a government shutdown. A quarter of those surveyed said they don't care whether a speaker is elected on theory that the impasse is preventing Congress from wasting more taxpayer money, which is like, that's very funny.
Yeah.
A quarter thinks that. Like, to me, that's way too many people who are like, yeah, why do we have government anyway? I swear to God. And yet, like, the left is considered anarchists and crazy. Please.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.